Good morning, class. How was everybody's weekend?
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Okay. Did anyone do anything fun?
Yeah.
Sam got sunburned.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no fun though.
My mom and I made some snow globes.
Oh, sweet.
So,
I remember over Christmas your mom.
Yeah, she makes the Easter ones too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's really
It's
exciting.
great.
I got to see my family, which was really exciting to do. So, all right. So today we're going to learn about predictions. Does anybody know what it means to predict? What does that mean?
To guess.
To guess.
To tell the future.
To tell the future, yeah. So those are some good ones. We have to guess. To tell the future. So what do you use in order to make these guesses to tell the future? Do you just kind of make them up, or do you base it off of something?
I mean, you can make them up, but you probably should.
Right. There may be some clues to look for. So, like if there are a bunch of clouds outside and it's really dark, you wouldn't think that, oh, it's going to be super sunny and nice today, right? What would your prediction be?
It's gonna rain.
It's going to rain. Right, because that's what happens when it rains. So when we make predictions in books, and today we're going to be reading The Hungry Ghost of Rue Orleans, we're going to make some predictions. So pull out your predictograph that you got when you walked into class. And there are 3 things that we can look for when we're trying to look for clues. And I'd like you to either write this on the side or on the back of your predictograph. So we want to look for descriptions of characters, right? Because they're pretty important when we're reading books. We also want to look for important information about the places. Does anyone remember what that's called in a book? The place?
Setting.
The setting, yeah. So the place or the setting. And then our third piece is to look for action or dialogue. Does anyone know what dialogue is? Do you remember from last week?
It's like the words that the characters say.
Yeah, the conversation or the talking that the characters have. Nice work, everyone. Good remembering. So, in order to make our predictions in our book, we want to look for descriptions of characters, information about the place or the setting, and then any action or dialogue that happens. Those are going to kind of help us gather some clues. So in your top predictograph, you want to write, what do you think the ghost will do when the owners move in? So we want to start looking for clues about how the ghost maybe reacts to the new owners, or how he feels about his house, to give us to help us predict what he's going to do when the owners move in. So we want to look for 3 clues, and we'll do this first one together. All right, is everyone ready? All right. Fred lived alone at 28 Rue Orleans. Once the house had been a jazzy, snazzy, sweet and spicy spot, but now the floors squeaked, the roof leaked, and dust coated the chairs. But Fred liked his rickety house. All night he moaned and clicked his fingers and tended his tiny cactus. If he got hungry, he gobbled some air. The perfect life for a ghost. Were there any clues on that page about how maybe Fred feels about his house?
He likes it.
He likes his house? Would you all agree?
Yeah.
So maybe we should put that as our first clue that Fred really likes his house. All right. One day, Pierre and his daughter, Marie, barged through Fred's broken door. "Our new restaurant," they shouted. "My house," Fred cried, but no one heard. Pierre banged nails and washed stairs. Marie swept away cobwebs. They polished windows and painted walls. "No," Fred wailed, but no one heard. Are there any clues, maybe the dialogue or between our characters?
He doesn't like the movie.
He doesn't. What sort of clues tell you that he doesn't like them moving in?
When he wailed, no.
Right. He cried, he wailed, and no one heard him. Right? So maybe no one heard Fred?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we have one more clue. In came tables, chairs, and a giant stove. "No more!" Fred stomped his wispy foot, but no one heard. Trucks arrived with celery, peppers, and paprika spice, crawfish, onions, red beans, and rice. Then such a noise. Chop, whisk, whisk, chop. One evening, quiet settled over 28 Rue Orleans, and Fred heard a different sound. Clank. Had Pierre and Marie left? Had a new ghost moved in? Fred slipped down the polished stairs, past the gleaming stove, and clank, clank, clank. 20 forks rattled like ghost chains. 20 people shook their napkins, raised their glasses, and dined upon gumbo, crawfish, and red beans and rice. "Welcome to our restaurant," Pierre shouted. "My house," Fred hollered, but no one heard. Is there one last clue? So we can look maybe how Fred feels about his house or feels about the restaurant.
He doesn't seem very happy.
He doesn't seem happy. He's hollering, he's crying, and no one's listening. So Fred isn't happy. It can be our last clue. And we're going to find out on the next page what Fred is going to do. So think, pair, share with a partner. Based on your clues, what do you think Fred is going to do? And write your prediction down. When you're ready, give me a thumbs up. All right, Amelia, what did you and Lil come up with? What's your prediction?
We think that he's gonna scare them out.
Scare them out. That's a good prediction, yeah. Sam and Sean, what is your prediction?
We also thought he was going to scare him because he's a ghost. Usually I think ghosts are scary.
Right, they scare people, and he's not happy, right? He doesn't seem to want them there. All right, our prediction is Fred will scare them out. All right, let's find out on the next page what they're going to do. Now, Fred was tired of no one hearing. This place so horribly spick and span no longer felt like home. His beloved dust, gone. His squeaks and leaks, gone. His cobwebs, gone. Who had invited these munchers and clankers? They needed to go. And before you could say, "Hungry ghosts gobble air," Fred began to moan. Ooh, he tossed the gumbo, splat. He juggled the crawfish, whoosh, whoosh. He flipped the red beans and floated the rice. Flip, flip, loo. Were we right?
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to scare them out. Right. The diners cheered. Sort of interesting. All right, as we start to finish our story, we're going to make another prediction about what the owners will do now that Fred has scared them. And this time, as I'm reading, I want you to write down any clues that you can come up with as we're going along. So anything that the owners do or that they say that you what they are will help you predict what they'll do at the end of the story. Ahem! A portly man coughed pompously. I simply must comment on this food and this, strange performance. Conti, the critic, he loathed everything. Butterballs, carrot curls, pralines, and pie. Marie held her breath. Fred rubbed his hands happily. He'd soon have his home back for sure. Conti would hate a haunted restaurant. The food is spiced nicely and served up with style. The critic dabbed his lips. But this show, this mysterious show, he threw out his hands, makes this restaurant an outrageous 5-star success. Conti beamed at Pierre. A ghost makes your restaurant unique. Anything that the owners are thinking about maybe Fred being there in the restaurant that you can write down as a clue. Fred hid behind the stove for the next few nights, but still the diners came. Clank, clank, clank. Enough, said Fred sadly. I must find a new home. So he packed his valise and hoisted his cactus. Goodbye, he moaned from the door. But as he turned, his plant pricked Marie. The girl stopped her hurry and scurry. Are you the ghost? What did you expect, said Fred tartly. A floating sheet? I thought you were steam from the kitchen, said Marie apologetically. And you speak so softly. Now I can tell you've been here all along. Wait, are you leaving? You took my home, said Fred, opening the door. Pierre whisked by with a special dessert. My masterpiece, he cried. Powdered ghost puffs. Named for me? Asked Fred. This is the ghost, Marie told her father. We took his home. Oh no, Pierre dropped the beautiful puffs. Fred caught the tray and sniffed. Ah, that smell, that wonderful, powdery, sugary smell. It smelled like 28 New Orleans on a bright and busy, jazzy, snazzy day. Fred picked up a dainty puff. Why, it's light as air, he said. Your house, said Pierre. We are so sorry. Would it be possible to share? Asked Marie. Absolutely not. Fred took a teeny tiny bite. I need squeaks and leaks and dust. This place is nothing but clean and gleam and shine. Right, before we find out what the owners do, what clues have you come up with?
I said the restaurant reviewer likes the tricks Fred plays.
Yeah, that's a good one. So the restaurant's successful, right? Critic liked Fred. Does anyone else have a clue?
The owners wanted to stay.
What kind of clues helped you think that?
Well, because the critic liked Fred, and I think that having a ghost in the restaurant would be unique.
Is unique, right? That's unique. What did Pierre and Marie say to Fred when they finally saw him?
The one thought she was steam, or he was steam from the kitchen all
Right.
the time.
And what did she do when she found out he wasn't just?
So when she felt bad.
She felt bad. She apologized, right?
Yeah.
She said sorry. What else? What did Pierre do? What did he bring to Fred?
He made puffs after.
Yeah, named puffs
Ghost
after him.
Ghost puffs.
All right, think, pair, share. What do you think the owners are going to do with Fred? And when you are ready, give me a thumbs up. All right, Sam and Sean, what did you come up with?
We think They'll try to get him to stay.
Try to get him to stay?
Mm-hmm.
Lil and Amelia?
We thought like they tried to convince him to stay or like make him a room.
Alright, so convince Fred to stay. Make him a room even. Alright, let's see what happens. What to do? Marie pondered. Pierre puzzled. Fred nibbled another puff. And another. And another. Oof! He gazed at the last puff. Do I have room for one more? Room for one more, Marie slowly repeated. Then she smiled and dashed up the stairs. For the next 3 hours, Marie banged and thumped while Pierre kept Fred busy with puffs. Finally, Marie led Fred to the broken door, and he saw the sign, Fred. He could hardly believe his eyes. Dust everywhere. Squeak went the floor. A slow drop dripped from a leak. My own room, cried Fred. Let's celebrate with ghost puffs. Were we right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, nice work. Marie and Pierre named their restaurant The Hungry Ghost, and 28 Rue Orleans became, once again, a jazzy, snazzy, sweet and spicy spot. If you ever listen very carefully. Right after the 8 o'clock ghost show, Pierre offers dessert in Fred's private room. What's being served? Powdered ghost puffs, of course. Clank, clank, clank. And nice work, everyone. So, for the rest of class, I'd like you to pull out your independent reading books and grab another predictograph and make 2 predictions in your story that you're reading right now. And remember the 3 things to look for when you're making clues, and then write out your prediction at the end. Nice work, everyone. Let me know if you have any questions.